Alright, so this is our last week before the next Durhamtown trip. I leave in 9 days, so we have a week to get this thing fully ready for that trip. We don't need to finish it, we just need to get this thing to where it's mostly finished and at least drivable and all that kind of stuff. I have a list of everything we need to get done. This is probably not everything. It's also not in order. I haven't thought of everything, but this is just most of the stuff we need to get done. We need to install the passenger seat. That's pretty easy. Passenger grab handle, we need to have something to where the passenger can hold on to. Seat belts, that's important. Mirrors, front panels. We don't need to do all the paneling on this thing. I just want to add some panels in the front so therefore we don't get covered in mud anytime we drive through a puddle. With this thing, I need to hook up the winch. New spark plugs. I bought new spark plugs for this engine. We just need to install those. Storage boxes. We need to add some type of storage to this thing so therefore we can have extra tools, extra parts carried with us in case anything happens. Lights. I heard that the GP track and turbo track are now open till 8 o'clock, I think. I think it was 8 o'clock, and I looked it up, and the sun goes down at 7:12, which means we possibly may be driving this thing in the dark, which is cool, but we need to add lights, so therefore I can see where I'm going. As well as we need to retighten all the chains. Last video of this project, I did a 4-wheel drive burnout just to test everything, and everything worked. It just stretched all the chains really bad, which is kind of good because if they're gonna stretch, we want them to stretch now, so therefore we can easily retighten them now instead of having to do that at Durhamtown. So I think let's do that first. Let's retighten all the chains. Man, look at how loose that chain got. So I'm pretty sure this was the chain in the last video that was skipping teeth pretty bad, just because of how loose it got, how long this thing is, and like I keep saying, because of how many chains I had to buy for this project, I chose to buy just the super cheap Chinese chain on eBay that I could find, so this stuff is going to stretch pretty bad. I may even need to remove a link to be able to tighten this properly because the tensioner over there is almost maxed out, so let me see if I need to remove a link from this. So it's not loose enough yet to remove a whole link. If I could remove a half link, then that would work, but I don't have half links for 530 O-ring chain. That's removing a half link, that would work, but this is trying to remove a whole link, and it's just, yeah, it's not loose enough, so this thing's probably going to stretch a bit more, so for now, let's just retighten this, and then after this thing fully stretches, then I'll probably be able to remove a full link. Alright, that's a lot better. Alright, all the chains are now tightened again. Pretty much the only thing on this list that's really going to take us a long time to do is the front panels, so let's do that next. Alright, did I just make this thing super ugly looking? I'm not sure how it looks on camera, but in person, because of how shiny these panels are, if you stand back and look at this, you don't really see this that much, and you mainly see just all this, and it kind of looks like a weird front of a bus. So it's, I don't know. I do eventually want to add more panels to the top of here, possibly to the side here and all that kind of stuff, and I really think that that's going to help the overall look of this thing, because this looks good, the dash looks good, it's just these that look really weird. But if we add panels over here, it's going to cover that, so but seeing as how this took me 3 days just to get this done, and I only have 3 days left to completely get this thing ready for the Durhamtown trip, I don't think I have any extra time to add more panels to this thing, because we got to get all the other stuff done on a list. Plus I need a couple days to get other vehicles ready for the trip and everything. So why does it always seem like I'm always rushed for time? I'm always rushed. I never have enough time to, get the stuff done that I need to get done. So, let's try to finish the list, and if I do have extra time, I will try to add more panels to the front. But if I don't have time, then this thing's just going to have to look a little ugly for this trip. So, front paneling is done for now. Let's work on installing the lights and hooking up the winch. So I just stole these off of the old VF1000 project, so we're going to use them for this. Now, I'm either going to put them here or here. I think that would look cross-eyed. What about this? Something like that, I don't know. Ooh, that's perfect. Alright, headlights are working, and light bar is working. Nice. That looks awesome. And that's bright. So I'm kind of wiring this thing up backwards, because the cables that this winch comes with, the cables that go from the controller to the power, not power steering, what does it say, to the winch, they're a lot shorter, and the positive and negative wires that it comes with are much longer, because you're supposed to mount this controller really close to the winch, but for me it's a lot easier just to mount it in here and all that. So what I did was I took the positive wire with the fuse, I shortened it a lot, and I connected it directly to the battery because it already has a fuse, we don't need double fusing. So, and then I took the yellow wire, and using that as ground, going from the battery to the controller, and then I'm using the ground wire and the rest of the positive wire, and that's what's going to be going from the controller to the winch. So, yeah, it's a little bit backwards, but it's a lot easier to do than just mounting the controller closer to the winch. I want to have it in here and protected. Just want to double check that the winch wiring is working. Nice. And that's working. Now I just gotta hook this up to a switch, and then the winch is done. Alright, check it out. I just finished all the wiring of this thing. So, turn the ignition on, headlights work, light bar works, and the winch works. Nice. Alright, lights are done, as well as winch wiring. Nice. Now it's pretty much all the easy stuff. Installing passenger seat, seat belts, mirrors, new spark plugs, storage boxes, Yeah, let's start doing the passenger seat and passenger seat grab handle. Alright, the old crab handle is installed. I did buy blue grips for it, so I'll install those once they get here. Alright, that's got me strapped in. That's pretty good. Definitely not going anywhere. And I think this back bar is a pretty good place to attach to for these. So, because I know you're not supposed to mount them super low, because otherwise it could crush your spine if you crash. So... yeah, why didn't I do this when I was already messing with the air filters? That was actually loose. Yep, that's not good. So I'm kind of curious to measure the compression now, because I know a lot of you guys were saying when I did a compression test before that it was on dry cylinders. So now that they should be well lubricated, it will be a different number. So yeah, the spark plugs aren't terrible. They're just look like normal used spark plugs. Dang, all of these were kind of loose, so that's not good. Now, something I want to clarify, again, I know I've said this before, but I keep seeing comments from you guys saying that like, oh, that engine sounds like it's running on 2 or 3 cylinders, and it's like, well, yes, it does sound way different to any other Hayabusa engine or anything like that. It's not because it's only running on 2 or 3 cylinders, it's because of the headers that I built, because I have these 2 cylinders going to this muffler, these 2 cylinders going to this muffler. It sounds like a boom, 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 versus a constant noise. So that's why people are like, oh, it sounds weird. It sounds like it's running on 3 cylinders. No, I'm pretty sure it's not. It's just because of the different headers. Dang, were all these spark plugs loose? Did I forget to tighten when I was checking the compression? Alright, new spark plugs are in place. We're slowly knocking this stuff off the list. Passenger seat is installed. Passenger grab handle is mostly finished. I'm still just waiting on those grips. Seat belts are installed, as well as new spark plugs are in place. All we have left is mirrors and storage boxes. Alright, so these grips just got here in the mail, so put them on. Alright, kind of broke it on that side, but that looks cool. Now, as far as storage on this thing, I actually just noticed that these smaller plastic ammo boxes actually fit perfectly right in this corner right here. You can still have easy access to it, you can still open it up, and it's out of the way of everything. So, these are a little bit old. I have like 3 of these, and 2 of them I previously used for a battery box. So ideally I should go out to Walmart and buy new ones, because yeah, this one's got a hole drilled out of it. But I'm a little too lazy, so I'm just going to use these, and hopefully nothing will fall out of here. So all I got to do is just cut out some 1-inch strips of metal, bolt it to the bottom of this, and I'll just weld it to the frame. A little bit sketchy welding right next to a gas tank, but the vent is all the way down to here, and this is capped, so it should be safe. Safe enough. There's like a perfect spot right here for another one, so mount that right there. Not super stable, but I wonder if I put sticky tape in between here and here. Let's try this. Alright, that kind of helped. A little bit. We'll see how long it lasts. Alright, mirrors are done, and storage boxes are done. That is our list done. So, I just looked up the forecast for Durhamtown on the days we're supposed to be there, and unfortunately, it looks like rain, which kind of sucks, but, which means that we need to cover these air filters. We definitely don't want these getting wet. Also, I actually just realized this, kind of a bad design on my part, bad planning, but having these tubes angled upwards, which means if these air filters do get wet, there could potentially be water getting into the air box, which is not good. We definitely don't want that. So all we got to do is just basically just cover the very top of it. We don't need to completely enclose it. I just want to cover the top so when it rain, you know, just can't get these things wet. So also, if I do have extra time, once we finish these, I will add more paneling in the front. Just for looks. It's not really going to protect anything else on the front. It's mainly for looks. Yeah, priority is definitely covering these, and then this thing should be pretty good. Everything else, you know, pretty, not waterproof, but water resistant at least. So it's mainly just protecting these. Alright, so I had a little bit of extra time, so I added a little bit more paneling in the front. We got these two, this one, as well as the two on the side. I did want to, and I will eventually, add more paneling up front. Panel here, panel here, panel here, to kind of just help with the overall look of this thing. Make it look like it has a hood and all that kind of stuff. So, also his door. I really wanted to install the doors before the Durhamtown trip, but didn't have time for that. So that's just going to have to wait for after. So, yeah. Kind of running out of time because I leave for Durhamtown tomorrow, which means I have to pack up my truck and load up everything tonight. And it's already 5 o'clock today, so kind of need to get on that. I'm really hoping these panels aren't gonna be making a terrible racket. I mean, the ones on the top aren't bad. Like, that's not bad, but the ones on the side, ugh. Yeah, a bit loud, so hopefully they're not making a terrible racket as we're driving this thing, but I don't know, maybe I can figure out a way to, if they are, figure out a way to quiet these things down, but yeah, this thing's pretty much ready. All the safety aspects are installed. We got the seat belts, we got the mirrors, we got headlights, we got light bar, we got the winch hooked up and everything. We got covers over the air filters in case it rains, so they're going to be mostly protected. We got a fire extinguisher installed, so this thing is pretty much ready for Durhamtown. I need to start packing and getting ready because, like I said, I am leaving tomorrow. So, anyway, guess that's it for this video. Thank y'all for watching. I'll see ya in the next video.